Okay, this should be recording. So go to the regular campaign, and you want to use this single column one because that's the most simplest campaign that they have. Say what? Oh yeah, just skip that for now. So yeah, just go. We're not actually sending anything out. Don't click confirm. We're just going through the template and design. So you can just name yours however you want. You can put Kenny newsletter. And this is, you can actually change the from email address and the name however you want each week. You do want to click the auto tweet, but it will just default to the name of your newsletter header and the URL. This requires you to be linked to Twitter for this to happen. Click next. Yeah. And now you have the template design. I use the same template every week. It's actually the most basic one. It's this single column one. So a newsletter header typically has a couple of different sections. You have your header image, then you have the body of the newsletter, so all your content, and then you have the footer. So this is something to make note of. In order to build a newsletter, you'll probably want to create a custom header image. One good place for you to do this is at canva.com. It's a free website. Canva.com? Yeah, Canva. And you can just log in using your Facebook or Google. Yeah, you do have an account? So on yours, just go to designs or something up top. Let's see.
Just to make our postcards.
Yeah, I use this to make our postcards too.
Just get the free PDF and don't pay for the service.
Yeah. So it's loading. So once you're on this canva.com screen, you just click more, and then there should be a lot of different design template. You probably pick something that's more, like rectangular. I would recommend maybe like an Etsy cover photo or a Facebook cover. Actually, use the Facebook cover because if you put this on Facebook, it fits perfectly into your cover photo. Because every week, I just rotate that, and then here's the edit.
Is there a good way to do transparencies in Canva?
Yeah, opacity. There's click on the picture. I'll show you.
That does the foreground and the background.
There's tricks for you to overlay like a box and make it transparent and make things letters pop a little more. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this one. It's there, but you see that there's actually tons of different templates. Right. Actually, let's try something more unique. It's all plug and play. That's the cool part about Canva. Okay, so this is Kenny's spring collection. All right, you just literally just download the picture. And one good thing I like about MailChimp is super easy to use. You could literally just select an image and drag and drop it into MailChimp, and it will show up in that area. So this file that I have from Canva, I'm just going to drop it right into here. It's kind of lagging. Hold up. See, it clicks blue, and then now you have your header image. One thing that's weird, I didn't say that, Kenny, but that's fine. One thing that you need to really notice is you want to start with the design, is that you want to give the background some color and clear borders and lines between each of your columns. So you change all that in page and under design. So page would be the background style, So example, if I wanted this to be all black, I would just select that color. And then if you want to add a border, like maybe Climb is red color, or we're known for red, you might want to add a red border to give it a distinctive look. Save. See the hop. Oh, so that came out as white. Hold up. Okay, let's see. Oh, sorry. Solid. You want to pick a type of border too. So this is gonna give it a big pink border. So I'm gonna go with red. And then when you click back to content, this is your divider lines. You want to drop these in between all your articles.
Okay, I just put this in.
Yeah. So it'd be a good idea to get the divider lines right here and just drag and drop. Right now by default it's a really thin line, like a 2 pixel. Maybe use like an 8 or 10. And I'm gonna make this a black line so it's easier to see. You see that?
Yeah.
So after you have that, you actually just duplicate a bunch of them like that. And then the cool part about these lines, if you choose to modify all of them at once, you simply have to just click the line and change the pixel or color like this, and apply to all. Now we're gonna go over how to put content in here. You want to use an image card, not just an image, because image is just a picture. You want to use something with a picture and then some wording underneath. And here's kind of the funner part of this, of how, most important part is the content, right? Or what to put in the article, the newsletter. So on Facebook or Twitter, throughout the week, I'm sure you're on Facebook, you see other people posting articles. Are you familiar with the save function on the top right corner for articles?
No.
Okay, we're just gonna go through. You see this article?
Yeah.
If you click this arrow right here,
Oh, you can save it. Yeah.
yeah, you'll save it. And then this is things I've collected over the last week. You see, for me to set up a newsletter today, it's going to be pretty easy. There's something about Oakland, New York developer building something in Oakland. Let's see, Silicon Valley being the richest area in the U.S. Dog-friendly America. The list goes on and on. So I'm just going to use these 3 articles to make it simple. Other websites you might want to check out is SocketSite.com, CurbSF, SS Business Times, Trulia Blog, Zillow Blog, or you just literally just looking up the word real estate on Google is super easy too. So let's just say we're going to use this New York article as the first article for our newsletter. What you want to do is crash. Internet's really slow. So once the article loads, what you want to do is right-click the image that you want to copy and copy the image URL. So you don't even need to download the image to your computer first before uploading. So example, let's just say we wanted this to be the first article, right? Silicon Valley is now the richest area. If this I like this picture enough to use it. If not, you can always look that up to try to find a better picture. But you simply on here, you right-click it and you copy the image address. And then you go into your MailChimp. And on the image area, you press browse and import from URL. see.
Which one?
So you see, you import from a URL, and it'll just simply dump the picture into the newsletter.
Yes, so that's what I usually do. This is actually so much time.
It's really simple, to be honest. So by default, these cards have a background to it. For this, if I'm using a white background for these articles, I probably want to remove this this black background because it's kind of harder to read. So to do that, I just click remove background, or we want to change it to another color. So I just want this to be white. And then on content, I keep mine really simple. Before I would have the article subject header, and I would type some stuff under it. You might want to do that if you want to comment on it. I actually recommend that. But if you don't want to, then you simply just copy the article. I like capitalizing it, but if you don't want to, and this is just an even faster way to do it. You could just copy and paste the article header into the newsletter. But you don't. So this is, I'm going to show you 2 ways to do it. This is not the correct way. If you literally just copy and paste this newsletter header and dump it into MailChimp, you're going to also collect that font. And if you're doing this with a couple of different articles, all your stuff is going to be screwed up because everything will have a different font, right? So what you want to do is break the text. So you copy it into your URL bar. It'll remove all the format and text in it. So you do that in, like, maybe your Google, your emails and stuff too. So then you can bring that back over. So you copy that into the bar, and then you go back to campaign, and then you can dump it in here. So that's the easiest way to do it, but I would still recommend actually making it capital because that's the subject header, and then putting some words underneath. You'll want to align it to the middle and give that a larger font than the text in the content. So example, that's large. I tend to use a 16 or 18. I think that displays the best in email. So you have the article here. So now you put the image in here, and you gave it a subject header. If you choose to, you can write something underneath it, but if you choose not to, you simply just need to go back to your link, the URL that you have in there, copy and paste the address. And it's important to give both the photo and the subject header the URL link, and simply just copy and paste that. And same with the article header, you have to select the text and give that link using the link bar. Same as in your emails. Then you save it. And so right now you see that this newsletter currently has a newsletter header and 1 article. It's super easy to create an article. You just really duplicate it. If you want to get fancy, you can also have the articles with the pictures on the left and the subject header on the right, or all kinds of different things. If you choose to do that, give yours more style. You could use these things like image caption or image group. I just like having mine really simple with a single column. Makes it easy to read. So now the second article. So example, I found there was this article about these are the 5 most dog-friendly cities in America. So this is the link that I copied and pasted. Actually, so this article might not be as good because it's actually a video. If I had a choice, I'd pick something else, but just for sake of this, we're going to go ahead and use this. So remember, this is actually the second article I copied. So I'm gonna, on this one, just I'm changing the working in reverse of what I did before. Instead of putting pictures and links first, picture, subject header, and link, I'm just gonna go ahead and change the link here in this image. These are the 5 most dog-friendly cities in the U.S. So now you have 2 articles, and what you want to make sure is there's a divider line between each one. So it's super easy, you just duplicate that and put it in between. On this, you know there's a huge gap on top and bottom of the black lines. That's called padding. You probably want to minimize that to like a 4 to 8. Right now it's defaulted to 18. So once we do this, it's going to minimize the breaks in between each one. See, right off the bat. So, let's see, dogs. Google or Pinterest is a good source of pictures. Let's go Pinterest just for example. Oops.
Are you just pulling pictures
Yeah.
if you're using them without permission?
Yes.
There,
Yeah.
and you don't care.
Never in 5 years, no one ever really care. Yeah, I understand why. Yeah. Like Getty photos or stock photos, those certain sites give away photos, but I don't think people really care. It's kind of, I feel like when we're creating this stuff, it's almost like BuzzFeed. You're reporting on something, you're not actually selling anything. So it's a gray area, but so far I don't think anyone's gonna come after me for a picture of a puppy, you know. So that said, if anything, a lot of times with infographics and stuff, you might those infographics at the bottom actually has the original where they got their data from. You're probably giving them more publicity and driving traffic to their site. So I'm just going to use this. It's not the best picture, but I'm just going to go ahead and use this picture. Again, copy image address, go back to MailChimp, change the photo. Replace. Pinterest is one of the best sources for infographics. So, like this week, I haven't even started my newsletter yet, but this week I'm going to be doing a PlayStation themed newsletter, like the video game console. So I'll give you an example of what I would do. I would just literally type in PlayStation infographic and see what pops up. So you had a whole dog theme one that you just type dog infographic or candy infographic or not. And if you do plan to use infographic, because I think it's a really catchy way and to give it a very colorful look, you tend to want to place the infographic right in the middle of the newsletter. So if you have 5 articles, this might be number 3. If you have 7 articles, which I usually have, you might want this to be number 5. Yeah, I usually do 7 now. I found a formula. I'll show you. But when you're picking infograph, you have to remember that people are reading these. Like 70% of the time, they're reading things on the mobile phone. So although this infographic looks good and catchy, no one's actually going to be able to read the words. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So none of these are good right now. Maybe this second one. So the challenge is finding something that looks good and it's easy to read and interesting enough. So you can spend a lot of time on here looking for something. This picture is awesome. If this was a Lego Marvel one, I mean that's actually maybe something I want to work on later. This infographic would be really, really good to use. But for PlayStation purposes, I don't see anything here that interesting. You know, it might be too because I'm working off the original PlayStation. I probably want to look at PlayStation 4 or something, right? So let's just say I'm going to use this article. Open it. Same thing. Copy the image URL. It's loading.
How much is PS4 now?
That's the original.
This is the original. Yeah.
That's it. You can cheaper when I bought the PS3 way back. That's the last.
Oh, actually, I did. This picture was not that large, and I didn't center it. Oh, see, this was the image card. I had this on the left. If you want, you can center it, and you can make it like different ways to do it. I like everything all the way to the side, but whatever taste you have could be different. So the infograph, same thing. You want to duplicate one of your image cards. So this one. This is a copy of the above one. Replace the image. So So replace the image, then you'll change the subject header, and then you'll change the URL link. A lot of times these infographics from Pinterest, they'll lead to another article. Not all the time, and you really don't want it just linking to Pinterest. You want it to get directly to the article. So for this one, it links to this website called Visual Listing. The Visual Listing is just a whole website dedicated to infographics. Another website is visual.ly, same thing. So you want to copy that link, not the Pinterest link. And on here, now that you have this, something's weird here. Setting. I'm not sure why it's like compressing these all the way, but I can check into it later. But you change the link over here. And this is what you'll have. So this doesn't look very good, but I'm just showing you like the structure of the newsletters. I'm going to jump into the one I'm working on today. It's a little more complete, and I'll go over some of the details of it. So this was last week. I'm showing you the finished product and what I'm be working off today. Let's see. So this week I'm working on the PlayStation one. That's why I'm looking up those items. But all I did right here, I duplicated what I worked on last week. So this was what was sent out. Here you notice the background is white, and I changed all the divider lines to different color. The reason was this was a Funko Pop, a toy thing, so I made it a little more colorful. I got really nice looking picture. You should always have high resolution pictures because if it looks bad, it's grainy, it's not as good. I gave the fonts a little special touch by adding a background border to make it pop. So I recently, I think like a couple months ago, I found a formula for my newsletter. If you want to, you can use it too. All my newsletters have 7 different items in there. The first article, that one, the third article, the 5th and the 7th all share a special connection or type of thing related to the theme. So here you see this is a single woman because the article was a single woman. And this was Compass, a big luxury market company coming here. But you see picture 1, 3, 5, and 7 all tie in with the original theme, which is Funko Pop. The middle, you have this really captivating infographic. For this, took me about an hour to look for it. Cause I tried to look for Funko infographic, I couldn't find a thing. Look for toy infographic, couldn't find a thing. And then suddenly I was able to find a holiday one related. So this is the most relevant because it actually showed toys all the way to 2015. But there's actually a lot of really bad infographic before I was able to find this one. Articles 2 and 6 are just something local. Like just this was a graph and there's a picture of a house. So you see the white background, a really thick border. I made it extra thick because these toys are a little bigger, so it kind of matches it. I gave it a lot of color. Every picture is a little bit different.
How did you give more color to the toys?
Well, I gave the overall look of my newsletter more color. That makes sense?
How are you doing your fascination with PlayStation logo?
I pay someone to do that, a marketing person. Yeah. So let me just show you like a past article, because you want it to not look boring, or you want your certain things to have a certain look. So you might want to be like go more elegant, more high end. If you're probably high end, you're probably doing more whites and blacks and grays, right? Or with a certain type of font. Mine's I try to make it just more fun, because depending on your brand, right? I think Scott Lake has a really good looking newsletter. He sent that a couple times with a focus in Soma. He uses a sideways pictures on left and right. He has a certain way of aligning it. But this is give you some of the, like the back end train of thought on how you want yours to look. Just to show you an example. Let me see. This is pretty huge contrast. Star Trek, right? Star Trek is going to be completely different from what's this? Sour Patch. Let me see. It's loading. So Star Trek is black, right? It would make sense for Star Trek to have a red background or a yellow background. So the whole theme of this is white and gray. So you see these lines. If you look carefully, the Star Trek colors are yellow, red, and blue. So I incorporate that small touches into here. So like depending on what you're trying to build or create, you want to focus on that. It's probably easier for you to just do a couple times and find a look that you end up liking. I've been doing these for about 6 years now, so that's why you kind of just know what I want.
Yeah.
But here you notice that Article 1 is tied to Star Trek. 2 is just real estate or something. 3 is tied to Star Trek. The middle infograph is something long and catchy. So even if you can't read these fonts, you kind of know what this is. This picture is Star Trek, and it's actually a video picture, animated GIF. If you're on Google, you can search up. I'll just do it right now. See. You don't want to go overkill on it, but then having a little bit could look good. So let me load that real quick. So you see 1357 is Star Trek, and then the picture right here is an animated GIF. You see? Versus this one's a completely different one, right? This is
So how do you put the animated GIF?
I'll show you. But so the design on this one, Sour Patch. I grabbed a bag of Sour Patch. I made the color like yellow background, red, green, orange, blues. So these pictures took a while to find. This actually had a transparent background. But you see, like it's actually a formula to it. So 1357 is what I use. You don't necessarily have to use the same thing. But the pictures need to tie into the.
But is it even for the color?
Yeah, or the picture. Like dual agency transaction is shocking, right? So that's why I picked this one. I went and I had took this picture and stick this for this article. Best girlfriend ever proposes a boyfriend. You see, the picture tied in with the theme too, and that's how you really give it some style to it.
Did you pay your marketing guy to do the new properties?
Yeah, I pay him to do all this stuff. I'm actually looking for a new guy because he's too busy. If you know anyone, I need to hire him ASAP. Picture. So start.
You have a little graphic.
Yeah, so those are hard to find. Yeah. What you want to look for is actually I'll show you right now. So Star Trek, you do Google, you do images, and when you're on here to get something that actually moves, you need to use more. Let's see.
What format is it? Like a GIF format?
It's a GIF. It's always a GIF. Sorry. Search tools, type, clip art, or I'm sorry, animate it. And then if you have these, they don't actually load on the screen right away. So once you're on here, you can click any of these, and they are usually a moving picture.
So they start moving when you click on it.
Yeah. Star Trek is hard to find. All right, let's try this. This is an Apple iPhone. Apple iPhone animated. To find those really high-end small pictures, you want to look up Vector. Let's try this. Vector logo is like a social media icon. I'm willing to bet if I look hard enough, I can find an iPhone that spins. And a lot of this is free. There's people that like design this stuff for fun just to give it out. So this is a Vector is going to be a really, really small like social media icon. This thing is slow. think next time I should just literally just use that Mac Mini.
Probably.
It's just,
There's like a delay.
yeah. All right, when these things load, I'll get back to it. So right now I'm just trying to find the icons and such, and let's see. But so this is pretty much just building out the design of it. Again, there's background, there's header images, there's infograph, and the design logo. For you guys to send this out to your database, I'm gonna go back a different step. This is where you actually send it to everyone that you have ever emailed.
There's like the social follow.
No, skip that. I'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah. Like you guys get the point of this. I'm actually close this stuff out because this is lagging. Oh, see, small vector icons. If this is an iPhone, maybe you want to grab one of these small icons up here in the first row. I'm sure one of these will spin or do something. Let's see. See, Star Trek. See this animated GIF. You just look up Star Trek, you look up animated, and this will pop up. Star Trek is a little harder because this movie is so old. There wasn't anything new and cool with it. So now we're gonna go over how you actually get this distribution list outwards. At the top of your MailChimp, you want to click list. You'll want to click create new list. I'm not gonna do it. Then we're gonna skip step. Once you create a new list, you will be on the screen that looks like this. Once you have the name of the list, you're on this screen. You want to click add subscribers and click import subscribers. And then when you're on this screen, you want to click integrated services. The cool part about this is with the way Google works, anyone you have ever emailed or anyone who's ever emailed you, anyone who's ever hit a reply all by accident, they get added to your Google contacts. So that's pretty important. So you should get pretty excited if someone accidentally CC'd everyone. So when you go to Google Contacts, so I'm doing this live, you will click Google Contacts and you want to sync within a couple clicks. You pull everyone that you've ever talked to into your database.
You don't scrub that list, Kenny?
No,
Even if it's people that
I don't. I
have unsubscribed or other agents or like people that are just 0% value, you don't scrub it?
It doesn't. I mean, the way MailChimp works, I think it's like free up to 2,000 users, even up to like 5,000 users, like $40. Right now, I have 23,000 users, and this like cost me 150. And every couple thousand, it might be an extra $5-10. Yeah. I mean, it took me years to get up to the subscriber base, and I get consistent business from it. Yeah, I just don't have the capacity to sit down and scrub the list. But what I do want to do right now, I contact OBAR. You know, like a lot of the agents drip to other agents. I don't even know how to do that. But now I'm trying to figure out. So I contact OBAR to see if I can get a list of other agents, so then I can just
The same newsletter.
Yeah, maybe just list it or just sold or something. I try not to do those because they're so common, but I think I want to because I'm missing out on the normal part that agents are doing.
So what about people that have told you they want to unsubscribe?
Okay, that's a good question. Let me go to this and walk back and show you what happens on that. So you import from Google Contacts, you hit next, and you're pretty much done. That's it.
Okay, what if you wanted to upload them from like, I don't know, Hotmail?
You could. You export to a CSV file, spreadsheet, you dump them in. I do that every week with my CRM. So that's super easy. It takes you 3 clicks to do that.
Yeah, but in Hotmail, do you need to actually add them manually to your address list before they can?
No, you can export your entire Hotmail database onto a spreadsheet. It's called CSV file.
No, that I know. But what I'm saying is, I got so much junk mail from other agents, but I never saved those agents, like into the contacts.
I'm not. You know what? I'm not sure how Hotmail works. I would think they did the same thing.
Can you upload the Excel sheet?
Yes, you can. Yeah. So like Commissions Inc. stuff like yes, you absolutely could. You could just dump them into there. It takes 2 clicks. It's the same process, but 2 screens ago, it'll ask you if you want to do a CSV file instead of Google Contact. So my Google Contact is now updating. So someone just mentioned, what about the people who unsubscribe, right? Because that's a pretty big deal. So that's why I actually keep 2 lists, and this costs me double what I should be paying. I'll show you the reason why. So you see this list up here that says 16,000 people. So I keep 2 lists. This list, if you notice, no one's ever opened anything. No one's ever unsubscribed. Every week when I upload my contacts, I upload to both of these lists. This upper list is every single person I've ever talked to, but including ones that's unsubscribed. This bottom one is just every week I grow it, every week I lose people. See, the top list is actually interesting. I still keep this list because I run Facebook ads to this list. And Facebook will cross-reference the matching email addresses with those emails. So although people stop unsubscribe from my newsletters, I'm still advertising them on Facebook. There's like 1,500 people difference. And then on Facebook, it's super easy. I can show that too. Why do we want to use MailChimp? Because MailChimp allows you to just do this couple clicks and pull everyone from Gmail. It's done already. I just did it. And then when you're on Facebook, within a couple clicks, you can pull everyone that came from MailChimp. You see? So Google, MailChimp, Facebook. And then when you run ads, your new listing, your reveals, new development news, whatever it is, you can run ads to your entire database. So although these people have unsubscribed, I'm still getting them one way or another. Does it make sense?
But it's different people from Gmail.
Every single person in Gmail contacts, the bottom list is on the top list. The top list just has everyone that also has unsubscribed before.
So you still mail your
I
newsletters
still,
to people who unsubscribe?
No. So the bottom list is who I send mail to every, on this.
Uh-huh.
Bottom list is who I send stuff out to every week. But the top one is I run my newsletters as Facebook ads. So the bottom people will still see it, but the top people will also.
But not in an email.
But not in the email. Because, I mean,
So when you, sorry.
Mhm.
When you go into like, I don't know, let's say Hotmail, and you have to do the you just go to
I'll help you with that
contacts,
later because I don't know exactly what the Hotmail backend looks like, but I can work with you on that.
to see
Yeah.
how to create a CVS file.
Yeah, I can help you with that.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. So this is how you get all your contacts on there, and then when you're ready to send out campaigns, I'll show you over here. Back to, let's just say I finished the PlayStation one this today. The PlayStation one is super easy. I actually have like 20, 30 articles waiting, like for me to just pick one. I just need to find good PlayStation pictures, pop them in, and I'm done. Like this stuff used to take me like 4 or 5 hours every week. Now it takes me about 2 or 3 hours because during the course of the week, I'll always be retweeting something or saving articles to Facebook. So when I'm ready to actually put this all together, it's really just plug and play. Like if you really break down everything there is in here, it's not that difficult to do. Because if you take away the design and how good it looks, it's literally just 7 articles, a header and a footer.
How often do you mail this?
I mail this every Tuesday or Wednesday at 12 p.m. So this goes out every week. So if you click confirm, because you did that auto tweet social media thing, make sure you always have that box checked. If you don't, then you can't do this next part. So this is the link. You see? The social link, and then you can post this anywhere, and this will show the article.
How did you get here?
On confirm. So I press send, it's gonna send out to the whole list.
Okay.
Why I like this, I found out recently. This link is a live example of your newsletter. Once you send out the newsletter, you can't make any more changes. But this link, if I do something, I change one color or something anywhere, this whole thing will keep changing. So you can test stuff out because sometimes I'll have a broken link or a typo somewhere. So I like having this. You can send a test email to yourself or just look at it just to kind of just make sure you're happy with how it looks.
So even after you send out.
After you send out, you cannot change it.
Oh.
So, but this is like right before you send out. You can actually use this link to just look at stuff.
Okay.
You see? So that's pretty much the whole newsletter process. I'm show you guys one more step. This is if you want to run your newsletters as Facebook ads. You go to Facebook, you go to Audience Manager. Let's see. In the top right corner, you wanna. So right now we're gonna create the database of people you wanna market to. Look. I think this is a pretty good article. Something about millennials and home buying, right?
Yeah.
So I would click here on the top
Yeah.
and save the link. It might end up in my next week's newsletter. This way you're not actually working all the time. You just see something, you click like, and then you save it.
So you're not even reading articles.
Yeah, sometimes I don't read the article.
Yeah, you just.
You can read the headlines. I mean,
Yeah.
you just need to look like you know everything about your market. I mean, like the SF Business Times stuff thing. New York developer builds 110 unit, and you look at the address. Or this, they're building something in Mission Bay. You look at the address. Like that's the article has content, but that's really the all you really need. And people don't have time to read that much stuff, so you create the article. So on Facebook ads, what you want to do is go to audiences.
You pick your audience.
Yeah, this is really because remember now that you've gotten the Gmail right over to MailChimp. Now you want to use Facebook to grab the MailChimp, and then that's your entire audience. So on audience. Once it loads.
So how many contacts do you need to have before they start charging you?
I think 2,000. So create audience. This is really. I mean, within a couple clicks, you can grab your entire database. Actually, I'll show you. So remember the database I mail to every week. There's 10,000 people, but actually there's 16,000 total. Ever. So bad email addresses, other companies, stuff that bounces back, it still gets stuck in there and just leave it there. Because if you look out of the 16,000, 6,300 of those addresses are matching someone on Facebook. So I'm marketing to those number of people. And then every week it goes up or down. Because back in March, I was only targeting about 5,600 people. So I was able to target about 700 more people since in the last couple of months. And so when I have a new listing, when I sell a listing, when I get a good review, new development news, it run these. And I run these like $1 a day. So that's why we have home sellers or home buyers calling us nonstop. Because if you have a big listing, you want that running at low volume. And how cool would it be if you could? How cool would it be if you get like 20 different ads running at like $1 a day? So you're a potential homeowner is seeing one of your ads every day. It's like the opposite of what you think a TV commercial is, right? TV commercial, you keep seeing the same ad, but here they see something new, fresh every day that really excites them.
So here's one that I did.
Yeah, like that.
It says organic and
Yeah.
paid reach until just less than a week. Pretty cool.
So on audiences, you do custom audience. Let's see, is this correct one? Let's see, where's the traffic? Customer file, I believe. Yeah, right here. Import from MailChimp. And that's it. And then I log into MailChimp.
Because Facebook only works with MailChimp?
Yeah.
Huh.
So there's constant contact, there's vertical response. There's more out there. But MailChimp is this purely because it does this. I use MailChimp because I don't want to spend 15 minutes trying to get my database over, right? And then I will name this file with the date. You see, the Gmail contacts and Gmail for Facebook. This one is the one with 10,000. This is the one with 16,000. This is the one I use. So just because of this part, it actually costs me almost $100 more a month. But you're getting like 1,500 people more. And you only need one client in those 1,500 people seeing your ads to want to.
Because the ones that unsubscribe, they
Yeah.
always have unsubscribed.
And a lot of time people just, it's not like they don't like you. They just get so much spam.
Yeah.
They don't want to deal with you. So
They
that's
don't care
why you
about
also
what's
want to
in
get
it on
them.
Facebook, but
Yeah.
they don't want to get it in their email.
Yeah. So today's the 20th, right? And that's it. And you save the contacts, it updates, and you're done. And then when you have that listing, whatever, like that's a good listing. You want to run that listing to people in your MailChimp. So you haven't used MailChimp yet. You don't need to.
No.
You can just you have the database in there, and then you're done. I'll show you guys how to read the back end. So I usually get like a 1% unsubscribe rate every week, and you could open the view report to see who's doing what. So I'll go. My open rates have been really low lately. They used to be around 18%. But what happened was on LinkedIn, I exported over 2,000 contacts on LinkedIn and put them into MailChimp. So all these people add you randomly. They might be a lender or escrow or whatnot. So once I did that, the rate dropped, but I was able to build my subscriber base by 2,000. Let's see.
So why do you need to build a subscriber base then?
more reader, more brand presence, or there's a seller.
If they're not reading it, if it's a lender, like if you know they're not going to be interested, like, why do you still add them? Like,
Because someone's interested.
oh, it's just.
I mean, look. That's why. Actually, this is a good question. I'll show you this next thing. This is the reader rate I've had over the years. If you look, like every week, I've been growing this because we're doing online leads. Every week we're getting like 50 to 100 leads. We were getting 27% open. So at this, that means over 2,000 people open my email. I only need one of them to be a client, right?
Yeah.
One. So like it doesn't even matter. That's why you want to keep building content. And the thing, this stays online forever. I put it on for me, I put it on my Facebook business page cover photo. Put on my Facebook personal page cover photo. I upload this to Twitter. I upload it to LinkedIn, and then I blog post it on LinkedIn, and then I put it on Google Plus. It's in 7 places. One newsletter, yeah. And then there's tricks to it too. I'll show you something else.
It's like, okay, we're gonna list resume.
Yeah, that's really. I mean, I get 3 or 4 seller calls a week, and I'll show you why too. So once you have this newsletter, here's some strategies. But you really need to figure out your design first and your content. Oh, and it goes on my website. So every newsletter I put out, it goes to 8 different places. By the time someone reads it, it's already on the next one, and they keep reading it.
What is it?
So my newsletter goes to 8 different places.
Like
Twitter,
different social media.
blah, blah,
Yeah, social media. So I wouldn't call it social media. It's more like digital marketing. It's branding, and I try to put listings at the bottom.
So is there a reason you have missed it? Every time I get instead of from you, it's like my name. Like, super
Yeah.
big. So like, is that specifically done? Not
Yeah,
like,
I match the
not-
theme. That's something I do.
No, but does that increase your chances not being like,
I'm sure it does. I'm going for the masses. When you're first starting, you're gonna have a really high reader rate, but you see, like I don't really care. I just need 16 to 2,000 people opening every week.
That was my question.
Yeah.
Like, if you change your name, does that like help you avoid getting into spam folder? Like.
No, but I think it might even hurt because I don't know the exact details.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are really valid questions, but I don't think those are good questions to ask prior to even putting out a newsletter. People always want their stuff to be perfect before they work on it, and you just never work on it. So I would worry about just even getting a newsletter out, and then try to figure out like ways around that.
There's a bunch of spam guidelines you can read about that. If you look up search MailChimp and spam.
So there's like a strategy. If you click on this, then I always put my URL, my website link in here, because once they go on my website, what happens is they get hit with a pixel. A pixel is like a cookie, right? So the next time I create a newsletter, I run that newsletter as an ad to my pixel. So the whole point, you get people reading your newsletter once they go to your website, and then next time every newsletter you put up, they keep seeing it, every new
So
listing.
anywhere they link on your newsletter, it just goes to your website.
Only the header. Yeah. If I can get them to go on my website once, then I can get them stuck in my marketing thing. And if they're stuck in my marketing thing, they're gonna keep getting all my ads. That make sense?
Yeah, but anywhere they click here.
No, it
here.
has to be
No.
it has to be a link. Let me show you. I understand what you're saying. Let me show you an example. There's actually secret tools to get them to go to your website. Let's see.
Oh my goodness.
That's why we're recording. Like you can keep watching this until you add every single piece that we have here onto whatever your newsletter will look like or you're doing. So I'm trying to show you the article. If you have a personal website, you can use a tool called snip.ly, snip.ly. So this is not my listing. This is Melody's Uptown listing, but you saw I actually put her listing and Brian Tran and Alex Hahn's listing because these are the types of property I also sell in my area. So I don't have San Francisco listings in my newsletter. I have Uptown because maybe someone's out there that's super lazy, don't even want to read my whole newsletter, but they see the Uptown condo. They think I sell the condo, right?
You need to ask the permission of the agent.
I just put all the climb stuff on here. If anything, this is helping promote the listing for someone else, right? So snip.ly is a free tool. What it does is that lets you add this box to the bottom. Do you see? And if they were to happen click on this box, then they go to my website, and then now they're stuck. The only way they can stop getting my ads is they actually block me. And this is all free. So you see the newsletter doesn't cost anything. Once you can get some content out and you can get people reading it, and then they start clicking your stuff, you get them stuck in your, you get them to read it. So I would suggest just doing this once a month to build up a follower base.
How have you created this?
That box on the bottom left,
Yeah.
that's snip.ly. So this is a free website. So you see, newsletter, email, they read it once or they find it at one of the 8 locations online anywhere. They click your website, they're stuck in the Facebook ads, your next newsletter goes out, you're advertising to them. It doesn't stop your new listing. So right now there's like 1,200 people getting my ads every day at maybe like $5 a day. And you keep capturing people and you throw them into this kind of ecosystem and they can't really escape. So like and that's why I have I have 99 bed chats in Oakland. I have like 11 grocery stores. Once they're in, like they're stuck, and the newsletter content is entertaining enough for them to want to read, right? And then that's why you get the calls, and then they go on Zillow, they see the reviews, so this is all part of the overall marketing. But it actually all starts with you can start at any point of the place. On Zillow, I have the links to my newsletter. On my website, it has links to newsletter, to Zillow. Everything goes everywhere. So you just need people to find you once.
Inserted in Instagram.
Instagram is not a good place to generate leads.
Right?
They tried it, yeah. But you could have it there, but I wouldn't recommend it there.
Just Facebook is good enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Facebook mobile ads. But
Start with one.
yeah, start with one. That's why once you get this newsletter going, you're gonna have you can build upon that over and over, but you need to start somewhere. It doesn't matter if your newsletter looks really bad. You just gotta get it out there, right? Because you can start building this, and maybe you don't have a big follower base, even a couple hundred, but when you're ready to do other things, then you build up that follower base, and then you can advertise to more people in a row. So that's pretty much it. I'm in this recording.